Alright, we're in a bit of a hurry today, but we're going to do a quick demonstration on how to etch anything you want onto a blade, onto your knife blade. Your logo, your customer's name, a pattern, anything you want with just household items. Well, most things you'll find in a house, except maybe the laser printer, but you can use a photocopier at the library or whatever for this part of it. So what we're going to do to start with, we've got on our computer screen here the knife logo that we're going to etch. Okay, we could have anything we want there. We're going to print all different sizes so that we've got different choices, small ones for small blades, big ones for big blades. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a catalogue like this one here, which has nice glossy paper and very, very thin pages, and we're going to cut out some pages. So there we go, I'll just cut that out with a knife. Too easy. We've got our the manual feeder here on the printer. Just make sure that that's set to go into there. So, oops, so daisy. Yeah, that's pretty good. There it goes. Made that funny noise. That's ready to go. So what we're going to do now, we just go to print. And we're going to go to the printer that we want. Obviously you know how to do this sort of stuff, hopefully, or else maybe you should do something else. That goes there. We want to select paper, if we can, to the manual feeder tray. Okay. With a bit of luck, when I hit print here, that'll just suck in and it'll spit out the top. Bad things can happen, paper jams and doohickeys and whatnots, but something's going wrong already. Load, remove paper. So I didn't push it in far enough, probably. There it goes. Right. Stop there. Alright, so hopefully when we press print, it'll all print and everyone will be happy and hunky-dory.
Doing anything? Oh, I think that's what went on. And it goes.
Alright, now when we've done that, here we have our logo printed onto the paper. So far so easy. Next thing we're going to do is select the logo size for the blade that we want. Stop. So I like to etch the blade for the right-handed person so they can see my logo while they're using it. So I'm going to etch this side of this blade, which is a cable Damascus made by my friend whose logo this is. So we're going to choose an appropriately sized logo for this blade. As you can see here, I'm going to go with I think this one here. You happy with that, Ads?
Yep.
Right. And look at that, pair of scissors. So far everything you should have around your house. We're going to lay that onto the blade. Notice how it's in mirror reverse, white on black. Best thing to do here is to cut the top of the logo so that it's square nice and square. so you've got a nice reference point to line up to the top of the blade, and then choose where you want it. You can go a little bit closer that way. When you spread them out, make sure you've got a little tail to hold, because it makes it so much easier. Now we're going to get something else you've got. Now this is why you must always do it when your wife's away, because it's her iron and she'd kill me. She won't ever see this though. So we're going to hit it with the iron there and just press it on with the iron. Got the iron set to on or about linen. We're not trying to overheat the blade, obviously. And once it starts to stick like it has now, you can really get it onto the iron and give it a nice old going over. Now this is a Damascus blade, so we're going onto an uneven surface, which increases the level of difficulty somewhat. If you're onto a polished blade, it's much easier. So all we're going to do is take that now over to some water. Just check and make sure it's adhered. You can see it's peeling off a bit there, so I'll just give that a little bit more. Yeah, we're in a bit of a hurry today, so no time for retakes on this one. Dunk it into the water here, and what we're going to aiming to do is just soften up that soften up the paper, make it into a mush. So I'm just going to gently just rub it away, rub it away.
If that paper's gonna break it.
The paper's going to break, that's right. So now it's really coming off nice, as you can see. So now we just gently rub. You might want to move your head, buddy, so the people at home can see.
I think you find it's people in the office who should be doing work.
All those people in their offices. If you're in your office, post a comment on the video just so we know who's in their office not doing work, thinking about knife making. Alright, so there we go, there's our logo. That's how it's going to sit on the blade. At this point, if you're not happy, you would you'd get some acetone and just wipe that off. But I'd have to say there's not too much wrong with that, so we're going to leave that. Just make sure there's no paper in any bad spots, and then we need to dry it off. Again, do this when your wife's away. Get one of the good tea towels.
What's he talking to?
Talking to the camera, mate. People want to know how to etch knives, and your dad's telling them.
Alright, notice how I put that back in the drawer. Don't do that, it's unhygienic. Alright, the next step is to get some electrical tape. Anything will do really, it's just gonna, anything that's waterproof. We're just going to put it around our logo, like so. Now obviously you can etch anything using this technique. You can etch a pattern on your blade, you can etch your logo, your customer's name. I often do that. I'll put the customer's name on the blade. And there we go. Another one up the top. You want plenty of space around your logo so that if you spill any of the salt water and you have a bit of a issue at some point later on, it's not that much of an issue. Now, In the words of the mighty Gavco, hi Gavco, if you're watching, I don't think you've subscribed to me, so there's probably a little chance, but there you go. I'm going to use my wife's nail polish, and I've chosen pink because, as Gavco says, I don't want my girl wearing pink. So, we're just going to get that, and we're going to very carefully go over everywhere that's not writing. You don't have to be super pedantic, but you can get, using this technique, you can get a little bit of shadow, and you want to try and minimize that shadow as much as is reasonably possible. Okay, now the next step, we let that dry. While that's drying, get a little bit of salt, some water in there.
How much salt would you put in?
Just saturate it, just fill it up with salt, so the salt's no longer dissolving.
So that's pretty cloudy in there, so it looks like it's pretty salt water.
I've got 9-volt power supply here, and you could use a 12-volt, a 9-volt battery. Anybody would have that 9-volt battery, no problem at all, right? So, there we go. Good enough, like I said, a bit quick and dirty today, but I'm sure this will be fine. So, we get our negative on a little cotton tip or Q-tip or whatever you want to call these things, and the positive is on the blade down here. Pretty straightforward so far. We get our ding spoon, and we're going to go like this. And if you probably can't see, but that's all bubbling and fluffling and carrying on. We're not going to touch the metal. We're just going to put the tip over the salt water over the metal, and just evenly go around, maybe 2, maybe 3 times. The longer you go, the deeper it'll go. It doesn't take very long. It's easy to do it too much. Starting to get spitting, frothing and sputtering, and that's a sign that we've probably done enough. So I'm just going to give it one quick one over the top, and I'm happy with that. Step, whatever we're up to, I haven't been counting. Quick and dirty, as I said. We're just going to take that off, and we're going to remove all of our little tape here, and we're going to run out and get the acetone because I forgot to bring it in. So we'll go outside. Here we've got some acetone, quick and dirty. Rub that all over it, and can you see that?
You can kind of see it on there.
We'll get a still, but keeping in mind that this is Damascus, so it's a bit hard to see that etch. Could have gone a little bit longer on that one.
Well, this is the first time with that particular maker's mark.
I'll show you. Yeah, it is. We just don't know what we're doing at the moment on this one. But anyway, just a minute. I'll put. So there you can see it, Carolyn Street knife. And I've not spent enough time on the right hand side of that logo, so where it says ST and Co. It's still legible. It's better actually than it looks on the camera, but that's alright. I'll show you what it would look like if I do my own logo where I'm a little bit more familiar. Just bring that into the light, and that's how it looks with my own logo. Yeah, well anyway, it is what it is, so that's that. Obviously you can etch different things on there, same method. This has been polished over the top. If you don't polish it, it just stays black. May as well show you some knives while so here's some of my more recent works. See my logos etched on there, it's using the same technique. You got brass, buffalo horn, red spaces on that one. The one I showed you a minute ago is cable Damascus. But I etched, I think the difference here is I etched the logo before I etched the Damascus. So I actually etched the logo onto a polished blade, which in my opinion is the easiest way to do it. And there's another one. And so these three knives actually have three different size logos. Well, you won't be able to do that with most techniques unless you pay for the fancy stencils. So yeah, there you go, quick and dirty.